Good morning. I'm here. This is Financial Fridays. I'm here with my financial advisor again, having coffee. They still have technical difficulties. This is the cutest little restaurant in town, but they don't implement fast because they haven't had internet for like months already. So of course we're back in my car.
And it's cold out.
It's cold out, and in New Jersey you're not allowed to idle in front of a restaurant. So we had to turn the car off, and so it's freezing in here. But what we're going to talk about is a hot conversation about stocks and bonds, like basic investing.
Like basic blocking and tackling. Explain it to me like I'm 5 stocks and bonds. So I'm in the business to basically help people with their money, right?
Right.
So I think there's a big sort of disconnect of what the basic role and what the basic story is with stocks and bonds. So stocks to me represent, it's going to sound corny, but it's like freedom. Our ability as Americans to basically, and this is not like this around the world, to invest in companies. We have a freedom and a democracy that where we live and are blessed to be living in, that we're able to, if we like a company, if we got a couple of bucks, we can invest in it. If you love Apple, or you love Tesla, or you love General Electric, or Boeing, or whatever, and you got a couple of shekels, you could basically invest in that company. Think about the freedom that represents from a democratic perspective. This is not like this around the world. And this allows people from a capital perspective, it's capitalism because it allows you to make capital meaning money, to make money. This is a very enlightening thing. So it's the American dream to advance and to do it in your job, to do it in your relationships, to do it with your money. Those are the 3 sort of things that people have to worry about on an ongoing basis. So to me, the ability to invest in general and to help people invest, to create a future and a dream for themselves, whether it's retirement or buying a beach house or buying a house or buying a car, or going to college, all those things require capital, require money, and need help. And people are so busy with their lives that they need help with that. So this concept of representing freedom to me is sort of like a very macro way of looking at it. So if we wanted to invest in a company, I'm going to pick Apple because we got Apple iPhones every place, or Teslas, or General Motors, or whatever it's going to be. I could take a couple of bucks and I can invest in that. If the company does well, I share in the company's success of that. That's an amazing opportunity to have as an investor. So the other thing, that's capital. So if you want to believe in a company, you could either invest in the company and be a part, or you're actually a part owner. You actually own a share, as a share of that slice of the pie of that company, of $1 billion, $1 trillion company in some cases, whether it's Apple or Google or Amazon, places like things like that. The other thing you could do to help that company out and invest in that company is to buy bonds. So when you buy a share of a company, you get a piece of the action. A bond is nothing but a loan, nothing but a note. It's an IOU that says, I'm going to loan you money and you're going to give me interest back. That interest in bond speak is called dividends. I'm going to get a dividend back. I'm going to get an IOU back. You're going to pay me because it's a loan. So I'm going to loan, believe it or not, loan Google some money, loan Amazon. They have bonds.
So when you buy a bond, you're like a bank.
You're a bank. You are taking your money and saying, I'm going to give you this note, this piece of paper. I'm going to give you my $100, and you're going to give me a 5% interest rate back, and that's what a dividend is, right? So you need money to grow. The government needs money to grow. If you give money to the government,
municipal bonds?
No, U.S. Treasury bonds, federal government. Municipal bonds, when you give monies to municipalities or local governments, your state, your town, that's a municipal bond.
Okay.
Right? So so I can give money to the federal government, that's called the treasury bonds, or the treasury note, right? Okay. And I'm going to get dividends back for that. I might loan it to my state or my local municipality, the town that I live in, that's called a municipal bond. I'm going to lend you money to build a road, to build a bridge, to build a baseball field, and I get, for that exchange, I'm going to get an interest back. That's the dividend that's going to be paid on my municipal bonds. I could also give General Motors, I could buy General Motors bonds. Those are corporate bonds. I could buy from companies. I'm lending the company money, General Motors, and they're going to give me a dividend.
So when I was a kid, I used to always get savings bonds.
Those are U.S. government savings bonds.
Okay, so why don't people do that anymore?
Because the reality is that interest rates in the difficult time that we had with the housing bubble and all those things, interest rates are so really low. So in the old days, when you used to buy savings bonds, you used to buy a $100 savings bond.
Well, 25. I came from a poor neighborhood.
Okay, I was rounding up just to. So if you bought a $25 bond, you bought it for $12.50, half the price, and you used to have to wait 20 years or
Right.
15 years for it to mature.
Right.
I still have clients today that come to me with stacks of bonds. They
Right.
say, "Oh, I had these, they're in the safety deposit box, they're in a safe in my house, or a coffee can in the house." What that basically is, that's lending the government money. You got to wait 15 years to get it back, and they're doubling your money. Not a bad deal. It was a great way to give people to gifts, savings bonds.
Right.
They're not cachet anymore because the interest rates in what we've gone through with the too big to fail and with the housing bubble, interest rates are extremely low. What's happened is that the federal government has lowered interest rates on those dividends. So the IOUs, the dividends, the interest that comes back is really, the government does that. That's what the Federal Reserve does, and the government, they have the ability to lower these rates, right? So why they did that? They wanted people to invest more in America, in those companies, not necessarily with the municipalities or the government. So they lowered the rates on the federal or the municipal bonds. Or on the corporate bonds, they want people to buy the shares of stock that we talked about in the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
So they push the money into the stock markets, which is why the market is on an 8-year, what's called a bull run, or a really good run, right? Because the government lowered rates, forced people that wanted money to make, but wanted to invest in the American dream, right? Our options are stocks or bonds. They pushed people into stocks because they wanted businesses to get propped up and to get help. Not necessarily lend us money, but buy into the company. You'd have skin in the game. Don't be the bank for us. Be an owner with us. And the government does that. This is what the Federal Reserve does by lowering interest rates, pushing money into the stock market. Money is like water. It needs a place to go. There's always money in Wall Street, and every day people think about what to invest. I think about every day where could money. It's like water. You know how water finds its lowest point?
Yeah.
Money finds its highest point. Money's always looking for a place to go where I can get the most out of it. It's like when you go to Marshall's and you look for a deal, or you want to get the most out of your money.
Right.
Same thing when you invest. You want to get the most out of your money. So if it's not really attractive to go into the bond market, the water is going to find its highest point and go into the stock market, which is why the stock market's been on its major tear for the last 9 years, right? It's
Wow.
crazy. Very interesting. This is all this is a basic thing of supply and demand. Very simple sort of dynamics and economics. And it's complicated to people. People are overwhelmed. There's so much information floating around out there that people are confused. And that's what we do for a living. This financial advisor's job is to explain it to you like you're 5, to understand how this stuff works. So you as a person, and we as a team, can make decisions to do things that helps you pay for college, pay for the beach house, pay for the car, pay for, whatever you want. Those are the things because this is America. You want capitalism. You want people come. We're the beacon around the world because we have these opportunities that we can better themselves. That's why people come here. Immigration-wise and everything else, that's why because it's like anything, only in America is the phrase, right? This is completely true. And I think that we have to play a role from a capital perspective is to explain it to people so they understand what kind of opportunity we have. Don't go out and sort of be a gambler. This is not a casino, although the market is, can feel like a casino sometimes because it's got volatility and fluctuations, which is why you balance your portfolio. It's called an asset allocation. I have some stocks and I have some bonds. I can't put all my eggs in one basket. So I balance those two things.
Wow.
A third component is insurance. We could talk about that in a different piece, but the basic building blocks of investing, and insurance has some of those dynamics also, but the stocks and bonds, just a simple understanding helps people try to build that money foundation.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this coffee time. We're going to try to give you on Financial Fridays as much information as we can so that we could all be really savvy investors and just start at a very basic level to just really understand what we should do with our money. But I feel thank you, Greg, because I feel really hopeful that I could, if I could understand this, I could have the freedom, and that's my word. I love freedom.
Freedom is the word.
And
it's the word of the day. Right?
Freedom has been the word of my life.
Freedom is the word of the day. And it is for a lot of people in this country, and we're very blessed to be living in a place like this.
So, God bless America today. Have a great day. And it's actually Friday, so I'll see you on Monday.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.